On April 24, 2022, introducing the Valorant Protocol 20th agent, namely Fade. Depicting the events of the Sting mission with which Valorant Protocol aims to capture the blackmailer who had been threatening them for a long time. The mission backfires when Fade makes the unexpected Valorant Protocol agents Sova, Neon, Chamber, Cypher, KO, and Breach face their darkest fears. The first nightmare we see visualized is Neon's. As she was running, she suddenly finds herself in the middle of a beach, likely the one in her hometown of Taguig, Philippines. Her running is interrupted by the dark smog below her feet that restrain her movements. As Neon tries to fight against the nightmare's hold, she gets even more incapacitated by it, collapsing to the ground while crying out in agony. At this point, Fade whispers, which means unstable. Seems to be the fear of not being able to control her volatile powers. Then the trailer focuses on Cypher as he's bound to a chair in what looks like a typical interrogation room, with the word echoing in the background, which means watcher, as he's trying to fight the nightmare's restraint, visualized by the black smog on his wrists. Cypher comes face to face with multiple cameras observing him. Uncomfortable by the attention, Cypher tries to back away from the cameras, but to no avail. Another nightmare manifests behind his back. From inside the smokes, Fade's hands come up, forcibly trying to remove Cypher's mask to reveal his identity to the world. Cypher's fear seems to be his face getting exposed. Fade claims that Cypher hides his face even from the people closest to him, his wife Nora and his child. We then see a picturesque image of two chambers shaking hands, a visual representation of the secret deal made between Alpha Chamber and Omega Chamber. Fade whispers, which means liar, in reference to how Chamber lied about this deal and his involvement in fracture to the protocol. Slowly, the crystal-like frame starts to crack and shatter right in the middle. After the frame is destroyed, the two chambers seem to be looking around in surprise while multiple images of Fade with an ominous red gaze surround them. Chamber's fear is theorized to be the exposal of his secret agreement between Alpha Earth Chamber and Omega Earth Chamber. The next visualization of fear we see is Breach's, with Fade's word of choice being which is fugitive or runaway. Breach seems to be in confinement behind prison bars as he repeatedly shakes the metal frame, trying to break free. He's unable to break through, causing him to slam his fist against the wall in rage. However, as the punch lands, glowing cracks form on his metal arms, with them breaking apart completely. As he's not powerful enough to escape, Breach can only continue punching the walls of his confinement, unable to ever break free. Breach's fear, compared to other agents' fears, seems to be a rather simple and straightforward one: imprisonment. As we see in his agent dossier, Breach is reputable to come from a family of criminals. Right afterwards, we switch to KO's nightmare. He is alone in a desolate and mostly empty landscape. Tinted blood read a callback to the Radiant War segment of his reveal trailer. In his arms lies Brimstone, deceased. Worsening the pain of the loss, Fade whispers, which is disappointment. KO's face is completely blank as he turns around and takes slow steps towards a structure in the distance. Black-colored wisps leak out of his mechanical body with each footfall. KO's fear seems to circulate around the Radiant War. In this war, KO is known to have lost his dear friend Brimstone, which he absolutely regrets, and constantly blames himself for not being able to protect his friend. Then, we see Sova trying to aim his bow in the dark. Suddenly, though, he loses his vision in his only intact eye and is left to defend himself in the darkness. Fade's whisper is, fittingly, which is blind. Despite being completely blind, Sova is able to shoot a recon bolt through the darkness, which reveals Fade's silhouette in an ominous red pulse emerging from the shadows. Sova's fear is a simple one: going blind. As he only has one intact eye he can see with, he possesses a prominent fear of losing that one and becoming completely blind in the end. We hear Fade muttering,
"I've seen your darkest fears,"
as the nightmare-inducing smoke dissipates by her will and reveals her face. As the smoke dissipates, we see the Valorant Protocol agents regaining consciousness, looking dumbfounded after the nightmare Fade had induced upon them.